Last time we discussed page number 97. Today we can go for page number 98. I must say, when I discussed page number 97, that you noticed one thing that was there, that there he had done paintings on the wall of the monastery. Earlier, what happened? Monks gathered there. They liked their painting, they enjoyed their painting, and they compared his painting to this, that, and that. They just pointed out this. Just look at this painting. This looks so nice. Just look at this girl. This girl looks like this. Just look at this picture. That means it was completely. They were overwhelmed. They were quite happy with the kind of painting that, because it was quite natural for them to be happy at a picture that was quite close to reality, and also beautiful appearance, because Fra Lippi was a great painter. So he painted lifelike as it appears in reality. The same was being painted there. So enjoy it. But what happens? Monks actually are monks. So what they do? They want something else. That they are taught to be interested in divinity, not in place, not in reality of the world. For them, Jagat is a kind of mithya, means it should not be given value. What is given to be value is soul, is divinity. That's why old monks and the prior, they started showing their anger. They frowned. Frowned means showing their anger. So now we can go for the lines which are there here. We can discuss here. As well, what matters taking its soul, give us no more of body than soul. Here is Giotto with his scent of praising God that sets us praising. Why not stop with him? Why put all thoughts of praise out of our head with wonder at lines, colors, and what not? Pin the soul, never mind the legs and arms. Rub all out, try at it a second time. He's saying, what you have painted? You have painted legs, arms, flesh. You should not be doing that. Rub it all, just wipe it all. Paint fresh. Earlier monks who were younger than these old monks and prior, they praised, but now the condition is that they have started disparaging him. They have started saying, they started scolding him. Why are you painting such pictures? They are full of flesh. They are close to reality. No, you have not to do that. Just take an example of Giotti. What Giotti did. Giotti actually, if you go for history, I have also posted this on the WhatsApp group, that he was a painter who took interest in painting religious paintings, who is especially known for painting religious pictures. So here he is being told, take an inspiration from Giotti. Paint like him. Don't paint flesh and arms and legs. Paint gods. Paint men, women in a manner that they give some divinity. They represent soul. It should not be flesh that should come out. So please rub it all, what you have painted, and fresh. Paint it again fresh. Do another painting at the same place. But time, the purpose of this kind of painting now that you are going to do again, it should be soul. It should not be flesh. It should not be arms, legs. Okay, so this is what he says. Further lines we can go. Oh, that's why the smallest female with the breast, she is just my niece Herodias, I would say, who went and danced and got men's heads off cut. Have it all out. So he says, the friar is talking to this person, Fra Lippi, and saying, oh, just look at that girl. A small girl in size and having large size breasts. This she looks as a girl, she looks as my niece. He's comparing his niece to the painting that he has done of a girl, a small girl with big size. And he says, no, you have to not do that. And what you have painted, the girl you have painted, is a kind of evil character. He is comparing, first he is saying that this girl looks to me like my niece, and the way you have painted this girl is actually a sign of something evil, because the same was appearance of Herodias. And what Herodias did, he's talking about that. He is saying, just we can go for here. Herodias, I would say, who went and danced and got men's heads cut off. Actually, if you go in history, you will find that Herodias was married to King Herod. Earlier, she was married to his brother, and now, when his brother went outside, she married to King Herod. And Salome was the daughter born out of their love. The case is that, you know what happens? Herodias' act of marrying Her husband's brother was criticized by John the Baptist, a prophet, a monk. So John the Baptist's criticism was disliked by Herodias. Herodias did not like this. So she wanted John the Baptist to be hanged or killed. But the case is that John the Baptist was a prophet and people loved him. That's why she was a bit scared also. But she wanted to anyhow manage that John the Baptist be hated. So she planned. But the case is that just because King Herod was her husband and she wanted this, so John the Baptist was imprisoned. But she was not happy with this. She wanted him to be beheaded. So once what happened, she got an opportunity when it happened that her daughter Salome danced there before King Herod, and King Herod got so happy and said, whatever you want to ask, you can ask. And Herodias had already instructed Salome to ask for the head of John the Baptist in a platter. So there, King Herod, because he had promised something, had to abide by what he had promised. So he said, okay, go soldiers and cut the head of John the Baptist. So this belongs to this group who is talking to him, Philippi and all. They belong to monastery, they are monks. So the John the Baptist also was a monk, was a prophet. So he is saying the painting, the picture you have painted of a girl and her appearance is like that she is an evil character. As in the history we have Herodias. Herodias got the head of John the Baptist cut. So you should not be painting such kind of picture. So this is what is happening. We can go ahead. Have it all out. Have it all out means wipe it, rub it. It is giving, it's evil in nature. The kind of painting you have done, it's evil in nature. It's dealing with flesh. No divinity, no soul is appearing here. So please rub it all out. Rub it. This is their order. Rub it all out and start afresh. Paint different pictures. Paint pictures of monks. Paint pictures of gods and goddesses. Not this. Okay. Now it is in this sense I ask a fine way to paint soul by painting body so ill. The eye cannot stop there, must go further, and cannot fear words. Thus yellow does for white, when what you put for yellow is simply black, and any sort of meaning looks intense, when all beside itself means and looks not. Why cannot a painter lift each foot in turn? Left foot and right foot go a double step, make his flesh like and his soul more like, both in their order. Take the prettiest face, the prayers and his patrons, and is it so pretty you cannot discover if it means hope, fear, sorrow or joy? Won't beauty go with these? Suppose I have made her eyes all right and blue. Cannot I take breath and try to add life's place, and then add soul and heighten them threefold? Or say there is a beauty with no soul at all? I never saw it put this case the same. If you get simple beauty and not else, you get about the best thing God invents. So, Philippi answers. He says, the painting he has done is a kind of painting actually that is painted, that is reflecting beauty. He has painted that girl, that she looks beautiful, and other pictures that he has painted looks beautiful. So he's saying that God has created this world, beautiful world. So I'm just by painting those beautiful things, I'm just praising God, nothing else. And what are they expecting from me to do? When there is a need of yellow color, should I use black color? Should I do that? Will it not appear awkward? What they are actually demanding from us, from me? Should I paint in a different manner? That's not natural, that's not real. Will it not appear awkward? And lastly, I will say that what I have done is in praise of God only. Because if God has created beautiful things, so we have to thank Him by painting them. This is what the answer Philippi gives to them. We can continue with the same lecture next lecture. Thank you.